Bulla to one and all. How are we all going today? So today I'm going to be making what's called in Fiji simply called pie. But here in the West we probably call it custard pie or a custard tart. But yeah, Fiji, if I say pie you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's one of these rustic style custard pastries, custard filled pastries, and I've been lucky enough to get the recipe from a friend there in Lambasa where I used to live in Fiji, and this is how they get made in their home kitchen. So hopefully it's a very simple recipe, so hopefully even a pastry dolt like me won't muck it up, but let's see how we go. So I'm just gonna follow the exact instructions that were sent to me, and this may make way too much pastry, but if it does I'm just going to use it somehow. But you could probably maybe half this recipe or something like that if you're only making a few pies. So to that end I'm going to start off by creaming some sugar into my butter, and I've got 250 grams of butter there, and into that I'm going to add 7 tablespoons of sugar. Now I'm doing this by hand today, so yeah, I'm just going to use my wooden spoon. Now I've had that butter sitting out for a good few hours, so hopefully this isn't going to be too much of a task. And from what I believe, the best way to actually cream butter into sugar by hand is to use your spoon and actually just, to begin with, just kind of press it in and just keep doing that, work the butter that way, and that way you're sort of breaking down hopefully those big granules of sugar as well. And even though that butter's been out, it's quite a cold day, so this is going to take a while, and that's okay, I've got all day, but I won't make you sit here watching this all day. I'll get on with this and get back to you when I've done. Alrighty, so I've now stirred up that sugar and butter, creamed it. I've just kept going, it's taken a while, just so you can feel no sort of grainy bits anymore. So hopefully all that sugar's sort of broken down. That didn't take too long, and like I say, I'm finding this baking quite relaxing anyway. Mixing, stirring, rolling things out. Now the recipe now calls for me to add 3 eggs to that. I'm going to see how we go. I think I'm just going to try and add 1 egg at a time, like so. Mix that one in and then get the others in one at a time. So I'll get on with that as well. And I'll get back to you then. Alrighty, so I've thoroughly mixed those 3 eggs into my butter and sugar mix there. So next thing I've got here is 3.5 cups of plain flour, and into that I've just mixed 3 teaspoons of baking powder, and I'm just going to dump that butter, egg and sugar mix into that, and yep, you guessed it, just sort of work that through. And again, I'm going to take my time. I'm going to sit down. I've got some Nordic Noir going on the TV, so I'm going to sit on the lounge, just gently mix that through. I think, as with a lot of these pastries, the trick is not to overwork them too much. So I'm just going to gently do that, and I'll get back to you. Alrighty. So I've sort of mixed it over. It's quite a fairly soft mixture. So just in the interests of making it easier to work with, I don't know if this is proper technique, but I'm just going to cover this and then put it back in the fridge just for a little while, just so it's a little bit stiffer before I start making my pastry cases. So I'll see you then. That sounded stern. So I'll see you then. Alrighty guys, so I've just got my pastry. Yeah, I've only been resting it about half an hour, so yeah, I've got some pie things here ready to go. So I'm just going to get a little bit at a time, again just in the interest of making it easier to work with. And I want to work reasonably quick. This is very, very fragile and soft, this pastry. So yeah, just put it on a little bowl, drop it on there. Grab my rolling pin. I'll just flour it a little bit. We'll just quickly roll her out a bit. Alright, just get one of my ramekins there. Alright, so I've got 4 of these small individual pies made. I'm going to pop, like I said, I'm going to pop those back in the fridge. Now I've actually got heaps of this dough left, as predicted. So I've got a bit of an idea for that. I'll get back to you in a sec. I'll just pop these in the fridge in the meantime. So I've actually got this square pie tin here. So what I'm going to do, let's just get my leftover dough, and I've greased this pan, and we'll just throw it in there and just basically squeeze it out. We'll see what happens. I don't really know, that might be spread out a little bit too thin, but yeah, only one way to find out. So I'm going to put that in the fridge as well. In the meantime, we'll make our custard. Alrighty guys, so while our pastry shells are just cooling there a little bit, thought I might as well whisk up some custard. So yeah, I'm going to double the amount I was originally going to make, as soon as I'm going to try and make that big square tray as well. So yeah, following the recipe from my contact up there in Lambassa, she always uses just egg custard mix, so, well, custard powder, so that's what I'm going to use today for this version of it. So I've got this Foster Clark's Seriously Creamy Egg Custard Mix, and I seriously hope it works. We'll soon find out. So one of those boxes, I've got 2 of those boxes, because one made about half a litre of milk, so obviously 2 is going to use 1 litre of milk. One hopes. So I'm just going to dump those in now. When I've made packet custard in the past, you'll also add sugar, but instructions on this one say nothing about sugar. So I presume the sugar's already in it. If it's not, well, we're going to have a seriously unsweetened custard, which doesn't worry me, but I'm sure it would worry a lot of people. So we'll just whisk that in, and what does it say? I should have read it properly. Slowly bring to the boil, stirring continuously. Immediately when boiling point is reached, remove from heat. Right guys, I've taken that off the heat as you saw. I'm just going to let it cool down a bit. And yeah, once it's completely cool, I'll probably even whack it in the fridge for a little bit. Alrighty guys, so I've just got my pastry shells out of the fridge. Yeah, my custard's cooling away there. As you can see, I transferred it out of that saucepan and just put it in my bigger bowl there to help it cool a bit quicker. So yeah, we're going to bake these pastry shells first. I just want to put a few holes in the bottom of it. I've had my oven preheating to 180 degrees Celsius, and I'm thinking these will need to cook for around 15 minutes. Alright. I might leave the big tray one in there a bit longer. I'll just play it by ear anyway. Alrighty guys, yeah, so the time's got away on me a bit here, so apologies for the poor lighting situation. Yeah, sun's gone down, so I'm not getting any light through the window. Anyway, so what I've done, yeah, I pulled those cases, as you saw, out of the, well, you saw them in the oven. I pulled them out and I've just let them cool down, so they came out pretty good. Like I say, they're fairly, definitely rustic looking. And yeah, they're completely cool now, so, and my custard is pretty cool too. So obviously, I'm just going to, yeah, put some in my shells. And I've got plenty of custard, so I'm going to be reasonably generous. Obviously without them overflowing. Now once I've filled all these up, I am going to put them in the fridge again. And I'm starting to think I might actually leave them overnight. It's that larger pie sort of base that I've had. So yeah, I'm just going to utilise the rest of my custard in that. Oh dear. Sorry, I'm just laughing because, yeah, I think it looks pretty good. Alright, I'm going to whack that in the fridge as well, and I'll see you tomorrow. Alrighty guys, so here we are, yeah, next day. They were probably set like last night, but yeah, I just thought I'd leave them overnight anyway. That packet custard, that creamy packet custard, it's probably not ideal. It does, like it's set there, but yeah, it's pretty soft. Tastes beautiful, but it's not like a sort of really set custard, which is probably ideally what you want in this. But anyway, yeah, here's one of my round ones, individual ones. As you can see, my slice, yeah, sliced up nicely, held together. So I'm just going to have a bite of this one. Oh my goodness. My friends, that is absolutely delicious. Yum. Oh gee, they're not going to last long, unfortunately. Unfortunately, still in lockdown here, so very, very dangerous having a few of those in the fridge. Might have to drop some over to Mum for Mum's Day tomorrow. Anyway, absolute success, really, really good. Want to, yeah, say good day to everyone up there in Fiji. Brings back really good memories, especially up around in, yeah, up in the friendly north, Lambasa, Savu Savu, Taviuni, yeah, everywhere, all around Fiji. Got friends everywhere. Alright, thanks for watching. Thanks to those who've subscribed to the channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, can I ask that you hit that subscribe button? It doesn't cost anything. Yeah, just gives you motivation to keep going. If you don't want to, no worries. And we'll see you all next time.